We can get affiliated.
And, it's weird. The mic button didn't work.
Is the mic hot?
Now it is, yeah.
Go grab it off the... This is like rookie mistake shit right here. We do this like once every other episode. So you're over there behind the scenes going, no, don't say anything. It's all right, man. You gotta I want to fill in that blank space.
Jesus.
Yeah, hand that over right here. Joe's gonna be cracking up over there, going, Jesus, you guys, you gotta get like the equipment set. You gotta. It's funny. We had this on the workbench. We had the mic on the workbench.
Eating.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of which, those burgers were the bomb, man. Thanks for making those. So where I grew up in Detroit, there was a classic burger joint called Mott's Burgers, and it had been there forever. And the owner, George, he pronounces his last name Motz, M-O-T-Z. He has these little smash burgers that there's nothing more than like thin piece of beef, slice of cheese, and a shitload of onions on there. And the way he does it, he puts the ball of beef down on the grill. They get a hot grill going, a black top, and they put like a mountain of onions on there. And then they smash that down, and he lets the first side go for about 45, 60 seconds. A little bit of salt, flips it over, puts the cheese on it, puts the top bun on it. They call it the crown. Then he puts the heel of the bun on that and lets the steam come up and take care of the bun.
It's almost like White Castle style.
It is, but thicker and better and much juicier.
Much better.
Oh my God, all the steam and the onions. Mm-hmm. It's like right on.
It is.
Anyway, Zombie Joe, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. So, because we had the mic cut off there just for like the first minute or so of the stream. Again, I want to give a shout out to Aaron for tuning in last week. Hey, Aaron, as soon as we get affiliated, we're gonna make him VIP because he's kind of like Kathy Bates in Misery. He's our biggest fan. Yeah. So hopefully he doesn't get offended by that.
Almost every stream now, I think.
Yeah, I fully expect that dude to be holding up one of those big foam #1 fingers, or a pennant or something with Black Dragon Tavern on it. So, and that would happen if we sent it to him.
New merch.
Yeah, new merch. Yeah, stop at our merch store online. Anyway, last week was pretty cool. We what did we do last week? We played Memoir 44, right?
Last week?
Was it Pegasus Beach? I don't remember.
Bridge.
What did we do?
Yeah, no, that was last week. We did Pegasus Bridge.
Yep. On Saturday, and that went pretty good. And then, we just talked about a whole lot of stuff. The one thing I got to do is I got to get the Discord server updated with the links that we had up there.
Merch link in bio.
What's he say? Yeah.
My dude.
So, we'll get the Discord server up there. And on that note, if you go to our About page on Twitch, you can catch the link to both our YouTube channel and our Discord server. We got quite a ways to go before we can get a vanity URL for both of those, but we'll get there. No rush. We're also on Instagram. You can check us out there at Black Dragon Tavern Online. And we're on Twitter, and the handle on Twitter is at Tavern_Black. That's right. It's a little bit of a switch around on the name there because everything under the sun is taken. And of course, we're here on Twitch every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central. So yeah, we appreciate you following us.
Yeah.
So this week was kind of weird. There were all these things that were just jumping out at me, and I was gonna talk about them. And I said I want to try something a little bit different. I want to switch things up a little bit and talk a little bit about fewer topics, but a little more in depth on each of those. Because sometimes we buzz through some of the stuff, and people will ask me offline "Hey, what was that graphic novel you mentioned?" And go to the Discord server. We got the links up there.
Yep.
So one thing I was mentioning right before the stream is your mom and I started watching this series on Netflix, and it's called Clickbait. And it's really interesting. It's like Black Mirror meets, I don't know, fill in the blank for a modern thriller. But essentially what happens is this guy gets kidnapped, and the kidnappers create a YouTube video, and they put it online, and they basically beat him. And they make him hold up these placards, these signs, and it says, "I abuse women." And one of them says, "I killed a woman." So, and then the last one that he's forced to hold up says, "When this video reaches 5 million views, I die." So, of course, the internet being the internet, the hits just start going through the roof. The view count shoots up. The family finds out about it because the oldest daughter sees it from her little hacker friend, who's in the hospital getting a transfusion. She's a nurse, by the way. And she's like, oh my God, I gotta go. So she leaves the hospital. She goes to tell it's her brother that's kidnapped. So
Oh,
she goes to
okay.
tell her sister-in-law that this guy's been kidnapped, and he's got a wife and he's got two kids. So oh, he's the greatest person, and he would never do that. They go to the cops, they get the cops involved, and now the hunt is on to find the kidnappers and find the victim before the video hits 5 million views.
Yeah.
So I won't ruin it. I won't ruin the plot and tell you what happens, but we are a couple episodes out from I think the last episode in the first season, and it's really interesting. It's like I can see the elements of Black Mirror in it, but it's not produced quite as well as Black Mirror. Like the main character in there is kind of whiny.
Assume not, because Black Mirror was really good.
It was really well produced. But having said that, it's worth a peek because there are elements in there, and like it keeps having all these like plot turns and plot twists. So
Plot holes from the sound
and
of it.
plot holes. Yeah, there are some big plot holes, and if you could look past that, what do they call it? Suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
Then it's like an interesting premise. But there was an article, I think it was on like ScreenRant.com or Polygon, where they mentioned like they did a review of it. This author did a review. It was an opinion piece, and he was saying like it was clever because he used clickbait for the to draw you into the article. It's like Netflix's new series Clickbait. Is this based on a real murder? And you're like, oh wait, what?
Yeah.
And of course you want to dive in and read it, and of course it was speculation. But the author said they did it so well that it could be based on a real murder, or it could be like a homogenous production. Like took all this stuff off the internet and threw it all into a pot like a gumbo, and all of a sudden you've got and that's what it feels like.
There's your plot twist. It is a real murder, and they hid it by turning it into a Netflix series.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be something?
That would be
So
crazy, yeah.
it's one of those things. It's like I don't know. I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna watch the next couple of episodes. We're gonna try to finish the season out, and we'll figure out from there if it's gonna draw us in for the second season, or if we're just gonna kick it in the ass and let it go on its way down the road. There might be. I don't know. Like
Okay.
we've got to get to the end of it. They didn't give any spoilers in the article, but the one thing that they did say was like it has this big surprise plot, and I think I figured it out like 3 episodes ago,
Yeah.
based on the way things are going. So, yeah, we'll see. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, which is super exciting, is what we were working on earlier in the week, and if you can do it without giving away too much to your group, Cyberpunk 2020,
Red.
Cyberpunk Red. Okay,
Yes, Cyberpunk Red.
why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the good, the good and the bad news is I don't think any of my friends actually watched the stream.
Wait, what?
Yeah, bad for the
Why
stream.
not?
Good for
Get
me
on
being able
that.
to talk about this.
Get on that. Get them out there. I know
I've
they got
posted it. I
Twitch.
just don't think they're Twitch people.
And make them an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah. So Cyberpunk Red, yeah. I'm gonna be running a game for them. Bit worried because it's my first game and there's like 6 players or 7 players in it, which is kind of terrifying to look at. I think it's 6. One player had to bow out because of college shit.
Oh, so
So-
you did hit 7 at one point. I remember you told me the other
Yeah.
night, but now you're back. Still,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good. That's
That
a pretty good
is,
sized
yeah.
group for a new GM.
Yeah. The one thing that I was kind of hoping for with the high numbers was like, all right, if I can find like 3 or 4 more people to put us to 10, we could have like 1 of each role.
Yeah,
There's your
you got all
party, yeah.
bases covered.
Mhm.
Then they can get through the mission for sure.
Yeah. So I have no clue what people are going to be playing. We haven't even done session 0 yet. That's tomorrow morning. So
Oh snap!
I'll
That's quick.
Yeah, I will report back in.
Where did the
on
whole
that.
week go?
No clue, but teens who are not Twitch people. Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's exactly what I said. Like, in fact, like in my show notes, I even put that on there. Are your friends watching? Are they? Why aren't they watching? Get on that. Tell them what's up.
Yeah.
Tell 'em what's up with that?
So the story, it's I think it's gonna be pretty cool. The one player, there's one player I had to help them make their, yeah. There's one player and I had to help them make their character a bit early because they wouldn't be able to make it tomorrow, and I didn't want to have to push it off another week because who knows if people would be able to make it then. But their character has ties to the mafia, and I was able to work that in a way where they do this first mission and it ends up kind of leading them back to the head of this family, and they basically they mess up and they have to do some work for them, you know.
Yeah.
And that's figured that would be a kind of good way to let them go out and do some stuff on their own, but also be able to say, like, at certain points, hey, you need to go and do this thing.
Yeah.
You know, because the mob said it. It's not me, it's the mob.
Well,
So-
I'll tell you what I'm proudest of, and I'm super proud of you for doing this. Like, you did this in such an odd way, and I guess maybe it's not so odd. A lot of people seem to
me
be able to
odd.
do this. You came up with the first mission,
Yep.
and you came up with the last mission. You knew,
Well,
here's where I want them to start. Here's where I kind of want them to go.
yeah.
I mean, like, that's the long and the short of it.
It started off, and those were actually the first two missions. They were going to do what became the last mission right away after the first mission. That was going to be like, you know, you messed up, you got to do a job for us. This is the job. And then I realized they're not going to be able to do that at that
Yeah,
level. They're
that's
gonna-
like the pinnacle. That's
they
after
are going to
they've
die
powered up and,
within
yeah.
minutes if they go there
But-
at that level. So
But what I was going to say is because you recovered and you were like, okay, I need to push that out to be like the big last mission.
yeah,
But then when you came to me and you said, you know, Dad, can you help me out with some GMing tips and
yeah,
how do I do this? How do I fill that middle part in between? And I think we came up between the two of us. I was feeding him a whole lot of stuff to see if he would grasp it as a new GM and if he could put it together. I was giving him the components like pieces of Legos and not giving him the instructions and letting him figure out. And between the two of us, we built one hell of a character / plot generator.
yeah,
You know,
Oh, yeah.
really simple. It's a real simple engine based on a couple of basic components
yep,
that effectively give you the who, what, when, where, why, and how, like with a couple of dice rolls. And
Yeah, oh,
and it's like infinite. So the combinations are limitless virtually.
yeah.
You know, I want to see when you finish that. I want to see what the final thing looks like because I
I've
might
got
be able
some-
to build.
I've got some written out.
I might
And
be able.
I've got the table written out.
That's
so-
cool. What I was going to say is I might be able to build a
Software.
screensaver for it. Not
Like you did,
screensaver, but a program.
Yeah, like you did with your old one.
Mhm.
I was
For
actually,
Dante's
here's
game,
the funny
right?
thing, I was actually trying to do that already. I was trying to do that on my site. Not as cool as an individual program that would do it, but I was trying to do that on my site, upload all of those, and basically every time you like refresh the page, it'll give you a random combination of them.
Hmm.
But I had never ended up figuring it out, so
Yeah, you need a lot of JavaScript
Plus,
for that
yeah,
type of
well,
stuff.
that and I just got busy and I didn't have time
Yeah.
to do it, so
Yeah, but for a Windows-based executable, I've got the program to compile that and set it
Yeah.
up, and you could do that, and it could be relatively
I
lightweight.
don't actually know how to do the coding for that.
Yeah, it's
So.
it's pretty easy. I could show you. I could sit down and show you, but you could have all your tables right there.
Yeah.
I need personality type. You know, so are they a ganger? Are they a civilian? Are they a corpo?
Yeah.
And then you generate that, and then
Yep.
like.
What's the
What do they do?
mission? Yeah.
What do they do? What's their background? What are they
Oh.
into? Are they into exotic vehicles? Are they into tech? Are they into Chrome? Are they into
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a good system, and I rolled up with the secret. It will. That might actually end up in one of their missions. I was thinking about this at work because I'll be honest, I have nothing better to do at work than to think about missions and stuff because it's like,
Better
all
hope
right.
you hope your bosses aren't watching
Yeah.
this.
Well, I'm not like typing on my phone or whatever. I'm
No,
like
I know.
mopping the same floor
Mhm.
that I mopped 5 minutes earlier. Now the new dog has gone over it, you know. So it's like, all right, mopping this floor again. What can I do to like think of anything else practically? But I was thinking, you know, one of the things that I might have them do is I'm trying to add in little like Easter eggs here and there to see kind of like what people catch on to.
Yeah.
And one of the missions might involve them going after somebody, a road priest, you could call him.
I see where this is
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
So,
Excuse me, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and
Yep.
Savior Belial?
so I was thinking like the street priest from Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah.
But I did actually have that in mind before you mentioned that. He was going to be a street priest of Belial, of the dark gods, and they were going to, you know, it wouldn't actually have any, like, bearing on, you know, he doesn't have magic or anything.
Yeah.
But the gangers all find him to be annoying because he tries to get all weird and preachy and culty on them, you know, so.
Joe, you weren't around. You weren't here for quite a while, but over on the the wall over on that side, yeah, not behind me, over on this side, we've got basically like a message board underneath the dartboard, and I was tacking up wanted posters for characters for NPCs. So when we had the live game running, people could come in, and as they're getting settled around the table, putting their books and their dice down, they'd wander around, get a soda out of the fridge, and they'd look up on the board and they go, "Isn't that the NPC we were trying to track down?" And here's a
Yeah.
little wanted poster for it. Tear it off, and they're like, "I'm going to go after this bounty." But one of the things that I put up there was the tract for Belial.
Is that still up there?
I don't think it's still up there because
that's a
I change
shame.
things around. I cycle through those every now and then, but those have been up there for a while. So when we get the group together again, I'm gonna have to rearrange some stuff.
Yeah.
I might pull down that old Ultima Online flag, and use that whole centerpiece for a message board.
You know what would be funny?
What's that? Or just tack over it.
Yeah. You get new characters in here, and they walk over there, and it's like, I have a strange feeling. It's almost like I've lived another life where I've been on this exact caravan mission.
Yeah.
I seem to remember protecting this wagon from goblins in
Yeah.
a previous life.
Or like, oh, I see old Sala's still in business.
Yeah. Yep.
Always looking for new mercenaries. Yeah. That was a good element. It took you guys long enough to figure that out, though.
Well, I think
That was the
just
funny
because
thing.
we were pretty young when we were playing.
Yeah, that's
so
true. When you started off, yeah.
More worried about like what
Yeah.
you're actually saying than that.
Yeah.
So
that's a whole
um,
industry that's taken off props for
Yeah.
tabletop games now. Like, you can't like spit without hitting somebody who's selling like gaming props. And what's up with that? Oh, was it the auto rules kicked in or something?
Yeah.
Or okay.
No clue why though. That's a weird thing. You know what it flagged?
What?
Put. P-U-T. Put.
Put?
Yeah,
Huh.
he said, or put up a wanted poster with their PC picture in it. And I actually love that idea. Because I believe we came pretty close to burning down a few towns there. So, some wanted posters
Yes,
for
you
all
did.
the characters.
And I still have a journal of all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and in fact, what I did was for one of the products I was selling were gaming supplements. There were 10 or 11 or 10 or 12 in the first series, and these were system agnostic game props. Some were maps, some were riddles, some were poems. I even wrote sheet music. I wrote my own song.
Was
And
it
I had
like was it like the Hieronymus Bosch butt music?
It was not as cool as the Hieronymus Bosch butt music, because I think I could maybe somewhere along the line get sued for that. But
Yeah.
that was pretty spooky. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Hieronymus Bosch was like a 15th, so it'd be 16th century.
Artist.
I believe was he Belgian? He wasn't Dutch. One of the great masters, one of the like early painters, and he did a lot of symbolism, and this would have been like during the Dark Ages, during the medieval, right before the Renaissance and medieval period, and he would do a lot of biblical things and symbology in his paintings, and one of them was a figure of somebody laying face down with their exposed butt cheeks, and they were squashed by something, so just
was
the
a
butt
harp.
cheeks, yeah, squashed by a harp, and just the butt cheeks were sticking out, and there was sheet music written on each cheek. So somebody in our century saw that, and they magnified it, and they said, "I'm going to write a piece. I'm going to play this out on the on the hurdy-gurdy, and I'm going to
that's
see."
what that was on.
There's a hurdy-gurdy, there's a
That's
mandolin,
awesome.
there's like all these different instruments in there, and they actually composed a whole piece based on that, and another piece of sheet music that was next to it. So yeah, not as cool as the butt music, but I did write a song, and I did get a good friend who is a local musician to translate it into actual notes and like bars and all that, and I published that. And like if people decode it or play it, they'll be like, "Damn, this is an actual song,"
Yeah.
So props, yeah, all kinds of props.
Mm-hmm.
I see there are companies that are like little cottage industry companies that are
Yeah.
launching, selling all kinds of stuff like that.
So he says the priest of Belial was the moral compass of that group. I would argue that it was actually my character, because you see, when he took all of those little wooden figures,
So,
he
I was
was
going to ask if it was the one with the kleptomania problem.
yeah, when he took all those little wooden figures, it was it was creating new business for the merchant. It allowed him to make new ones to sell to replace the old ones.
It
that
was
had been
giving the local
stolen.
constable something to investigate.
Yep,
Giving the
exactly.
local
It's good-
journalist something to
He was
write
good
about.
for the economy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And then the local journalist in
Yep.
the Daily Harvest had something to write about.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's funny. Hilarious. So
news, real quick, back to music. I want to get a hurdy-gurdy. They look really fun.
I'll
I've-
bet they're super expensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I've barely seen them played. There was there was a game, Sea of Thieves, and that's one of the instruments you could play in game. That set zombies on fire to see what happened. Yeah,
I thought that was, maybe I'm conflating it with goblins in a jail cell.
I don't know
What
what you're
was
talking
that?
about.
That was a different character, the
I
pyro,
don't-
the
I don't know what you're
pyromaniac,
talking about.
who was going to torch the two
yeah.
goblins that were already like
Thinking of
subdued.
someone else. That
Yeah,
must have been the
yeah,
NPC.
clearly.
Um,
Claro que sí.
I think what I did in that was I think I actually like poured oil on my sword and lit my sword on fire to see if it would do more damage, not just to see whether or not I could make like burning a scarecrows or whatever.
God. Anyway, that little town, that little village is now
scarred.
booming. It's
Oh.
no, it's recovered, but it's booming because now it's grown up because it's
Yeah,
at a
scarecrows and
crossroads.
zombies.
Yeah.
That was a fun game.
Yeah.
That was a really fun game.
That-
Can't wait till
I think
the
that was the one
pandemic-
with the vivisectionist,
It
right?
was,
Yeah.
I can't wait till
In
that game
the
is,
village of Fallshire.
That game.
Yeah.
Can't wait till the pandemic is over and we can do like seasonal games again.
Yeah.
You know what would be kind of fun to do for one of those?
What's that?
Winter one, where it's almost like the winter fair or whatever from
Mhm.
Neverwinter.
He recovered due to the blessings of Belial. Yeah, that guy's probably still around that area too.
He is. We that just came up in one of the games
Yep.
that we played. One of our parties actually made it out to Fallshire.
Yep.
And he had, if I remember correctly, he built up his own little I wouldn't say temple, it was more of a altar type thing,
Mhm.
but he went on to build up his own little altar out in the woods. So
Yeah.
you'll be happy to know he's still out there preaching the good word of Belial. So
Yep. And what was it? George Pratt, curios and carvings and curios or
is
something.
that the name you gave him in the game?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
just got that. Yeah. It took
That's
me
based after my
Yep.
grandpa, who was the carpenter.
an Abbey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Show some respect, he says. Yeah. But that's how long it's been. It's been over a year,
Yeah.
almost going on 2 years now, that since we've done that. But
Since we
everything's
played?
still running up here.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's been longer since we played. 3 years.
Has it been 3
Yep.
years?
It's been about 3.
Well, it was right before the quarantine kicked in full gear. So, I don't know, was that 2019?
Just about, yeah.
It's 2021,
Maybe.
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Yep. Going on 2 years.
Alright,
So,
sure.
and in fact, like Joe's here, and we were talking about this earlier, like it's different when you've got a high risk condition like I do.
Yeah.
Even though everybody else is vaccinated in the group,
Still, that
it's I
kinda,
have
like,
to
X
still have to
factor.
watch out for that because everybody there is an
Mhm.
X factor. Even living with you and mom is an X factor because you
Yeah.
guys go out and you work out of the house. So,
Yep.
but we'll persevere, do the best we can. That's all we can do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your next thing?
What's my next thing? You eager
Yeah.
to move on here? I don't know. I thought we were rolling pretty good on that.
Oh, all right.
Well, I'm
Go
super
on.
excited about this. So
I
the
am
next
too.
thing I took notes about was and as you could tell by the title, if you're a Blade fan, it's warning to all you vampires out there. It's open season on all Suckheads. Blade 4 got the okay from Marvel, and it's going to join the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
So
All right.
well, okay. Don't get too excited now. In the words of the wolf.
So you're
Like,
telling
let's
me
not go-
he's not already
I'm not
been
gonna finish it.
pre-approved as an Avenger?
So right, like I just lost my whole train of thought there. But
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yep, you got it. And it's like when you understand the nature of a thing, you know what it's capable of. That was like one of my favorite lines in that whole movie. So here's the deal. The first three movies that came out in the late 90s to early, I think 2000 or 2004 may have been Blade Trinity, the last one that came out. Those were technically, they were still Marvel. They were still based on the Blade superhero, comic superhero, but they were not technically part of the MCU because
Yep. It hadn't formed yet.
it hadn't formed yet. But here's a trivia question for you. Everybody goes, Blade, Blade, Blade. He's awesome. He's the first black superhero. Guess what? He's not.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who the first one was?
Oh, don't tell me.
Guess. This is going to throw you for a loop.
It was I know this. It
I
was
love
either
the,
like
I love the absolute look of like I
Yeah.
have no fucking clue, but I'm going to think about this anyway.
No, I seriously think I know this. It was either Spider-Man or Iron Man, wasn't it?
Nope.
No. Who was it?
I can tell you the creator, and you should be able to get it from there. Todd McFarlane.
Blank. Deadpool.
No.
No, that was Deadpool wasn't Tom. Who is it? I'm seriously blanking on it.
Blade kin. Yeah, it is akin to Highlander 2. There it is.
Spawn.
Yep.
I don't know Spawn too well.
A full year before the first Blade movie came out, Spawn hit the cinemas, and that
Well,
was
when did the Blade comic come out? Because there was the
Um,
comics before the movie
Spawn
too.
came out. I think it was like a full year before that as well. That
Okay.
was the first because I looked it up and I
Oh,
was reading an
I'll believe
article and I knew that it was one of those weird things, but I couldn't remember the timing of it. But I knew it was close.
See,
So
I'm not too familiar with Spawn. I had like 2 action figures from
Yeah.
there that I got like
Yeah.
years and years and years ago.
that probably would have been worth a fortune now if you would have hung on to them.
Yeah.
And then see what does he say? First black Marvel hero in the comics was Black Panther. Now, I think Blade might have come out before Black Panther. Black Panther. Everybody looks at Black Panther as like the bastion, the symbol of like of like black heroes.
Oh,
But
appeared in
that-
Fantastic. Well, that
Appeared in
could
the
explain it.
Fantastic Four. Yeah, okay, maybe so. I'm not a hardcore comic nerd, but I just remember what I was reading the other day. So here's the downside. Here's the letdown with Blade with the new reboot.
Oh, don't tell me Wesley Snipes isn't going to be in it.
Wesley Snipes is not going to be in it. It's Mahershala Ali. I can never say his first name. He was in Moonlight. He was in House of Cards.
Okay, Moonlight was good.
He is a good, he's an excellent
He-
actor. He's not a good actor. He's an excellent actor.
He is. He is an excellent actor. God, I can't talk. I can never talk when I'm on stream for some reason. He's an excellent actor. But why not Wesley Snipes?
Well, so it depends on which gossip news columns you're reading, because part of the issue was Wesley Snipes is allegedly notorious for being very difficult to work with on set. Like he is very much like, look, motherfucker, you're gonna do things the way that I say it. We're gonna do it, like, no, I'm not playing that character. I'm playing a character like this.
Yeah.
And he allegedly, according to Patton Oswalt, who I have no clue how he got involved in this, the comedian Patton Oswalt, allegedly Wesley Snipes tried to strangle the director at one point on Blade Trinity. And, when that kind of stuff happens, it's petty. A lot of that Hollywood gossip, you can't escape that. And all of a sudden you're branded, tarnished. And like, you can't escape that, and you get... I don't want to use the term because it's like it's not politically correct now to say it, but you get delisted. That's not the term I was going to use because it's just force of habit by saying the other one. But you basically get put on a list, and it's like, not going to work with this person. They're really difficult.
Yeah.
They've been known to be violent on the set or whatever it might be. Wesley Snipes is pretty outspoken. He also had some tax evasion issues with the IRS and the federal government.
Tax evasion.
Yeah, so he got wrapped up in that. So he's gained kind of a sour reputation in those circles. Do I give a fuck? No. He was Blade.
Yeah.
He's the one who kicked the motherfucking doors down and made it possible for Marvel to say, we can make an adult film, like not adult, like Bow
Not
Chicka
only-
Bow Bow, but
Yeah.
we
not
can
only
make
that,
a
but,
mature
like,
film that like people will spend money to go watch,
it's
Also,
method
he was...
actor, so difficult.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, he didn't just, from what I understand at least, he didn't just kick the door down for other like more mature Marvel movies. he basically made it possible for all of the other movies that came after that, because they were having all of their movies filmed and done by other people up until Blade. And Blade was either the first or one of the first movies that that Marvel themselves made.
Yeah.
And when they released that, they got to keep 100% of the profits.
Yep.
So they basically said, we've made more money off of this than any of our other movies. We can just roll that back into making more movies and making more money and making
Yeah.
So he got the ball rolling for the entire company, because they if I remember correctly, they filed for bankruptcy a while back and reformed the studio into Marvel Studios.
Right.
So.
And one of them, and I may be misremembering this now because I want to go back. We have the trilogy. We have the trilogy here in case you're ever interested. And I definitely want to put that on the watch list for the fall.
God, I got so many things on the watch list.
Oh God, I know that list is huge, right? But the
actually
opening
have a
credits,
list, but it's
the opening
huge.
credits were the animated, the red Marvel background with the comics coming in.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, like, I'm reading these articles from people who are writing these articles, and it's like, it's almost like they never even saw any of the original movies and have no clue, because they're saying it's a gateway movie, it's the first introduction to it, and it's like,
Blade?
technically it is the first time Blade will be introduced to the MCU, because like you said, it didn't exist. But the way they're writing about it was sort of like, this is going to be this new thing, like they're like erasing all that history, and people are like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because he'll always be Blade.
Yep.
But the new studio promos that are coming out for that, the photos, promo shots, they look pretty badass. And I gotta say, Mahershala, I think that's how you say it. Ali looks pretty cool in that role.
Speaking of actors who would be better playing their role but are being played by different actors, apparently, and this, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but apparently the reason that Lawrence Fishburne is not playing Morpheus in the movie is because he died, whatever.
In some video game,
Well,
right?
something like that. He ran off, he did whatever. But apparently this is like a younger Morpheus. This is he's being played by a different actor because it's supposed to be him when he's young.
That makes more sense.
So,
see, that makes more sense to me, because like otherwise it's a whole lot of CGI to try to make an older actor look young.
yeah.
And but okay, so
There was
that
a
makes more sense than
Blade-
like the first thing you told me about.
Yeah.
Like, how could the Wachowskis
Exactly.
say this video game is canon? It's like they wrote the story. They probably had something to do with the video game as well.
Yeah.
But so let me wrap on Blade.
Let's see this. There's a Blade TV show that was independent of Snipes. I did not know there was a Blade
I didn't
TV
know that
show.
either. No.
We'll have to check that out
Yeah,
sometime.
put that on the list too. So it looks pretty cool. Deacon Frost, played by Steven Dorff,
He's
will
gonna
not be in it as far as I
man.
know. And they did an interview with him, and I think it was Screen Rant that did an interview with him, and he said, "Yeah, I likely won't be in there because nobody's talked to me about it, and nobody's really extended out the invitation." But so this is what I do know that I did jot down about who's behind the scenes. So the screenplay is being written by Stacey Osei Kuffour, and she did Watchmen, which you didn't watch, and I really wish you would.
No, I didn't.
Because I like
I've
that.
seen
That
parts
was,
of the actual
I believe
graphic
that's
novel.
on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a good series. And she also did one called, I'm sure it's Penis, but it's Pen 15.
Yeah. That show kind of sucked.
Did it? I didn't see that. And so the director is this new up-and-comer, Bassam Tariq, and he did a movie called Mowgli, like Mowgli in the Jungle Book, but I don't think that's what it was.
Heard of that.
And I don't know that director, so hopefully they treat the whole franchise with respect, and they do it right, and hopefully it's a good movie.
I want to see another Blood Rave.
I love Blade. Yeah. The Pump Panel remix of Confusion by New Order will always be stuck in my head. That thumping, that electronic synthesizer, and the bass drum just kick drum
So
thumping.
here's a funny thing.
And Tracy Lords with All the Blood. So
Yeah. So Here's a funny thing: when we were
Don't you dare say anything, Joe.
when we were putting together Sarah's character, we were trying to figure out like what does your character look like? What do they wear? Because obviously, cyberpunk. The first official rule in the rule book is style over substance.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do something, make sure you look good doing it. If you fuck it up, make it look like you plan to fuck it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
is that Mike Pondsmith?
Yep. So I don't actually like how they have the fashion thing laid out in the book because they have it broken down into categories like Asia pop, leisure wear, business. They have it broken down like that, and it's like, okay, I don't want to hear that. Oh, you're wearing business clothes. Great. I don't know what that means. I want you to tell me what your character is wearing because I want you to really be able to like make your character look as badass as they can.
Yeah. Even if they make
So-
up a name of a designer.
Yeah.
I'm wearing like a silk
Nucci.
threaded, Nucci.
Yeah,
Nucci.
Nucci.
Yeah, I'm wearing Nucci.
So
And when I wear it too long, it's Poochie.
so their character, they were trying to figure out like how to describe the kind of style of clothes they wanted, and they just said, I don't really know how to describe these clothes. Have you ever seen Blade? And I was like, yes, I have seen Blade.
Okay.
So yeah, their character is basically like they wear the whole Blade outfit, the long coat, all of that. So
Yeah.
they have a
See, that's the easy way out. Like,
Yeah.
you ever see this movie? That's what I look like.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you're off the hook.
But the cool thing is, they have a tanto, the dagger, because they come with a medium, or I can't remember if it's a small or medium melee weapon, but it's like the tiny little baby version of the monokatana because it's a tanto that has the electric lining in it, but it's not the full katana. It's just the tiny one.
They could add the
So-
wakizashi. I mean, that's the one that's in between. There's the katana, wakizashi,
Yeah,
and
but I think
daikatashi
it's
is the
yeah.
big.
I think it
long one.
was a small melee weapon. So small Jesus
Melee.
fucking Christ. Yeah, small melee weapons fall into like, knives and all of that.
Yeah.
And then the monokatana is it's classified as a very heavy or a very large melee weapon,
Huh,
which is
interesting.
weird.
Is it
like-
because it's two-handed technically? You wield it with two hands. I mean, you could wield a katana with one, but
Yeah, maybe it is because it's with two hands. But it's funny because all of the other stuff in very heavy melee weapons are like the complete opposite. You've got like katana, speed, skill, accuracy, chainsaw, big lead pipes. If you break a helicopter blade off, you could use that.
Yeah.
Like all of this type of shit.
anime style.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing there with this
Yep.
giant thing over your back, like
Twice,
pull it out.
the length of your body.
right. Yeah.
There was a video of a guy who made one of those swords, and they tried to lift it, and it was about 150 pounds, I think,
Jeez.
and they could lift it because they were saying like, okay, this is 150 pounds worth of weights, and they could lift that up,
Yeah.
and then they go to lift the sword up, and they couldn't even get it off the ground because the whole
Yeah.
center of gravity or
Well,
whatever, picking it up by the hilt. But you know what he did?
But
He built a fucking exoskeleton that he could wear that had pistons in it.
Just
so
to
that-
lift the sword?
Just to lift the sword. And
Wow.
he was able to lift it and swing it around like it was nothing
Oh my
with that.
God.
It was awesome.
that's hilarious.
I was like, I want one of
You
those.
should see if you
dude.
can find that. If you can find that, put it up on the Discord
I
server.
think I've got it in like
Shoot-
saved videos or whatever, but yeah.
Shoot me the link, and we'll put that on the Discord server this weekend,
It was awesome.
along with the other links to the articles that I just mentioned. So anybody watching out there can check that out if they're interested.
Yeah.
Going backwards a little bit, because you brought up you slid the Matrix in there real quick. There was another series. See, like I didn't know about the one that Joe mentioned about the Blade TV show.
Yeah.
There was an animated series that I didn't know about either that was done by the Wachowskis and an anime
yeah.
director called Animatrix. So what they did is they kind of
I
went.
know this. I can't
So you remember a
it.
couple weeks ago on the show we talked about Star Wars Visions?
Yeah.
And I was telling you how like they're going back to like Lone Wolf and Cub style. He's a Ronin, he's a Sith. He's a Ronin Sith wandering the galaxy in search of
that's,
jobs.
Different.
That's Star Wars Visions.
I thought that was a different book because Star
Nope.
Wars Visions is like the.
So there's a comic series, there's an animation series coming out too, and the cover the cover art was what drew me in because it was a samurai leaping up, drawing his katana, but the katana was a lightsaber katana, and he had the full-on top knot and the kimono, and I was like, that looks badass, and I go, oh my god, it's Star Wars. You pulling it up?
Yeah, you sure you weren't thinking of Star Wars Ronin?
Well, I thought that was falling under.
Oh, that does look. That is Visions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I know I'm right. You always do this to me on stream, and I'm like, ah! Am I going nuts? Am I losing my fucking mind? You know, you're gaslighting me over there, man. You better watch that. So, anyway, point cool. being, the Wachowskis teamed up with an anime team, and they did The Matrix in that style. It looks badass. So it's like, it's a series of 7 independent shorts, each one done a little bit differently in terms of the animation and direction style. I don't know when that came out, but that went right on the list. You know, I bookmarked it on my desktop, and I was like, definitely got to watch that.
We got to watch all of the Matrix movies again before the new one comes out.
Because you don't even remember them, do you? Really?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I even saw the latest one before 4.
Yeah. Another thing I saw when I was reading about Animatrix was there was an article that was interviewing the stunt double for Keanu Reeves in that. And apparently, he was a young guy. He was like 25 years old. And this was going to be like his first major break doing a major motion picture film like this with such big stars. So you remember the classic scene where they are in the bank lobby and like they're going through, you know, and then he's drawing all the different weapons and they're doing parkour up on the walls, Carrie-Anne Moss and all that. And then there was one scene that like...
Is this the one where
he does the cartwheel, and as he goes over, he picks up M16 or whatever it is, flips over on the other hand, goes with one arm as he's doing the cartwheel.
How can you forget?
So, because the film crew, because the special effects team and everything, they had to rig up the plaster pillars with squibs that would blow up and blow chunks out to make it look like it was getting shot up.
Yeah.
It was very tedious to set up, 2 very costly to set up because they literally would have to if they fucked the take up, they'd have to rebuild the whole set, and it took them an entire day. So what they did was for that scene they budgeted for 2 days, and the stunt guy knew going in, well, I can only do this if I fuck this up now. I only have tomorrow to do it, and that's it. And then they're gonna fire me. And allegedly the director looked him right in the eyes and said, don't fuck this up. You know, he said, oh, okay. So here I am, first major break. I'm about to do this like huge scene, you know, and he had practiced, and he's like, I got to do it in one take on the camera. And so he said, so all I could think of was like, don't drop the gun, don't drop the gun, don't drop the gun. And then they said, you know, action. And then everything started going off, shit started blowing up. And then like it came, his cue came to come in, and he just does the cartwheel, bam, grabs the gun, click, 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 click. He did it one take. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he dropped the gun.
So that right there put him on the radar in Hollywood. It's like, you want some shit done, go to this guy. Yeah. The cool thing is, this is a happy story. He wound up opening up his own film production company. So now he's like actually producing movies and stuff. That's cool. Yeah.
So does he look at other stunt doubles and say like, don't fuck this up?
I hope he would be a little kinder, like, you know, thinking back on like how intense it was for him and how pressured he must have been trying to do that. You know,
animated shows though, we gotta watch.
Yeah. God, what don't we? We started watching Cowboy Bebop again, and we never finished that. Yeah, and then you know, Love, Death, and Robots season 2.
That too, and Samurai Champloo.
Yep, Samurai Champloo.
What's the new one? Blade Runner.
Let's see. Trivia piece. Matrix 2 had one of the founders of American Players Theater. No kidding.
That's really awesome.
So APT, for those of you who might be lurking out there and you don't know much about Wisconsin, American Players Theater is a wonderful amphitheater out in the middle of the woods in a beautiful place here in Wisconsin called Spring Green. And they specialize in Shakespearean plays, and they do some one-offs occasionally. And it's just a wonderful place to go. So let's say the Keymaster was played by... Oh, no kidding. Wow. That's awesome. That's really cool. I have to watch for that now.
Oh, yeah.
So back to the animated stuff. Love, Death, and Robots.
Well, skip all of that, because I was going to say the new one that's just come out recently or whatever, or coming out soon. What is it? Blade Runner Black Lotus? The animated
Black Lotus.
one? Yep.
Yep.
I want to watch that. It looks weird, but I want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm trying to suspend judgment on that just because the music didn't fit. So instantly in the preview, in the trailer, the teaser, I was put off by the music and the voice acting.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like it felt like what Batman: The Dark Knight felt like when it came out, the animated Batman that was really popular for a long while.
Wasn't that just like? I don't think that was the Dark Knight was the one with like Heath Ledger and all that.
Not the movie,
Oh,
the
the
animated
series,
series.
okay.
Yeah. And it might not have been
Um,
subtitled Dark Knight, but there was a Batman animated series that I think may still be running to this day. Again, without cable, I don't watch any of the,
Yeah.
the whatever it was, the anime. What the hell was the name of that channel that used to be on cable?
Nickelodeon.
Not Comic Central. It was like Cartoon Central.
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So they used to run all that on there. It says I saw him do Hamlet 2 times and Polonius once. That's cool.
I got to see Romeo and Juliet and
Yeah.
Midnight Summer's Eve.
A
Is that what it's-
Midsummer's Eve.
A Midsummer's
Yeah.
Eve out there, yeah.
I think that's the name of it. A mid.
Funny thing was, neither of those
Yeah.
were in high school. They were middle school field trips.
So we saw. What did we see? It wasn't Prospero.
We saw one out there too. The
Yeah.
three of us.
Well, your mom and I, like the three of us, you were really little. We've been there about 8 or 9 times. So we've seen about 8 or 9 of the plays out there.
Mm-hmm.
Put a gun to my head and ask me to name them. Couldn't help you.
Yeah.
But I do love the place, though.
It's
a really
beautiful.
and of
there's
course,
not bugs
it's
everywhere.
yeah, and of course it's in the area where one of my favorite freak attractions is the House on the Rock.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
What's that?
Until we went to the House on the Rock like a month or two or whenever ago that was, I didn't put it together. I never realized that those two were just like in the same area.
Yep.
Practically on the same street. I don't know why, but it never occurred to me. Because we were driving down there, I think you remember this, but we were driving down the road to go to House on the Rock, and I looked over at the side and was like, no way, that's the APT.
APT, yep.
That's awesome. I didn't know that was
Taliesin is
here.
out there too. Frank Lloyd
The
Wright's
Taliesin I did know about. We actually learned about
engineering
that
school.
in 5th grade, I think it was, in our art class. And I remember learning about that and being like, damn, architecture's kind of cool.
Yeah, Frank Lloyd Wright had his issues.
Thing is, that's about 5th grade would have been right around when I was getting into Minecraft too, so it all kind of clicks.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and his whole thing was integrating nature into the architecture and
Mhm.
trying to do it in a way that was natural and not so forced. In theory, it was a noble concept. In reality, in practice,
It's very
it was very difficult
Yeah.
to pull off, and oftentimes he had foundational issues and structural issues with the homes that he built, like water seeping into foundations and destabilizing the footings and the anchorings and all that stuff.
So is that why you said no when I said that I wanted to install a slip and slide on the stairs?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. The other thing, little known fact about Frank Lloyd Wright, and I know this because again, my background, fine arts and art history, major and minor. Frank Lloyd
Oh,
Wright.
that's you.
Yeah, that was me. I hit the bottom of the chair here. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to freak
I was
you
like,
out.
is the cat getting in? Is she in
Yeah,
the ceiling?
yeah. Now, what's that white floating thing back there? Ooh. But anyway, little known fact about Frank Lloyd Wright was that little known fact. I sound like Cliffy from never mind. When he would design a home, when he would design a dwelling, not only would he design the structure, the shell, the bones of it, he would design everything that went in it: the benches, the chairs, the beds, the sofas, the kitchenware, the everything, every detail. And so when they would build the home, he would have craftsmen assemble the tables and all that. And you bought it. That's what it was. Like, you're not just getting a home. If you tried to move shit around, nope, that's not what I designed. You get the whole package.
Yeah.
You got to get the whole package. And he was pretty adamant about that. Like, so
It's kind of
people found it really impractical because his view of
Yeah.
like, he was more from an architectural perspective, an aesthetic perspective than a functional perspective.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were complaining about like I can't sit in this; it's really uncomfortable, and it's like
But
it's
it
made
looks
to, it's
cool.
made to look at. It's yeah, yeah. So
But hey, I mean, it doesn't matter that much if you're rich.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Frank FLW was a huge influence of mine when I was in school from a design standpoint. That lasted for a couple years, and then I went on to like more. He was very cubist. Like he was like if you put him in like if you think of art movements, which you're going through art history class right now, and you're going to learn about this. So you'll come to the period of like cubism, and then you'll come to like brutalism. Like Le Corbusier was another architect, and he worked in concrete. So even your fucking couches are like prison benches. They're just concrete slabs in a room that's all concrete, and has like windows that let in a little bit of like very stark, very
I
harsh.
fucking love brutalism. It's what gives
So
me most of the it's what gives me most of the influence for all my 40K terrain.
so
So
yeah, a lot of that concrete stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So again, very cubist, very boxy, right? And Picasso, of course, everybody knows Pablo Picasso
Oh
for
yeah.
Cubism. So you can start to see the patterns there. And then I started moving towards more organic things where shapes were flowing and more, round and natural or, almost
You know what?
anthropomorphic.
I'm
So,
surprised you haven't made yet, or maybe you have. I don't know.
what's that?
Um, I'm not sure when the last time you read it was, but I'm going back through and reading it, so it's fresh in my mind. Neuromancer by William Gibson. In
Yeah.
in one of these people's offices, he's got a big wall clock goes from ceiling to floor, and it's Dolly. It's the melting clock.
Yeah.
So the top of the clock is at the ceiling, and it drips down and it melts onto the floor.
Yeah.
So never gets the time right, but
Yeah.
it looks cool.
There are a couple of melting clocks that you can still get in production that hang over a branch or hang over a coat hanger, and they work, they function. I don't know how they do it, but they work. And then there are a couple that are like
I wonder.
paintings of the melting clock on an actual flat two-dimensional
Yeah.
surface, and so it's still a flat clock face that goes around from 12 to 12, 360 degrees, but it has the image of the melting clock, and it's kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But I've looked for years, and the one that I did find was actually an official licensed Salvador Dali piece. He signed off on the design of it years ago, and they wanted $3,300 for it. In fact, you know how 333 is our number? It was $3,333
Wow.
for this clock, and a certain household member that has been here since before you were born was like, "There's no way in
Yeah.
hell you're gonna pay that much money for a
I wonder.
clock."
I wonder with the ones you hang over the coat hangers or whatever. I wonder if the clock, like the hands on it, because I haven't seen them obviously. I wonder if they're just on the top of it, and then they use like the glass to kind of like contort the image so it looks like it's going all the way around.
Yeah, I don't know. It I honestly don't remember how it worked. Uh, I mean, but I'm sure you could look it up.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, it's
the
about.
persistence of memory, by the
Yeah.
way, is the name
No,
of
I
that
know.
one from Salvador Dali. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, okay. So is
It
it
is
about that
about-
time?
yeah,
It's
it's
about the
about-
top of the hour here. It's about 5 minutes to 9. We're going to take a little break. This part of the show, we'll take a little 15-minute break. We hope you'll stick around. And then when we come back on, we're going to be broadcasting from the workbench, where tonight we'll be working on, well, we'll tell you that when we get back
Yeah.
to the workbench. So stick around. We'll see you in 15.
See you then.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Black Dragon Tavern. I'm your host, Dante,
I'm your host, Deacon.
and I've got to turn my volume down here so I don't, kill myself with the feedback. So tonight from the workbench, what do we have going on? I'm going to be working on my gobos. Big surprise. Anybody who's been tuned in for the last couple of weeks has seen me work on these. I've got some original GW Kev Adams sculpts here, Kevin Adams. I think I might have a Bob Ollie sculpt or two here. And I've got some great stuff from this company called Spellcrow out of Poland. They're resin. So I'm doing one hobgoblin and several goblins. And they're different. They're like goblin engineers, goblin tinkers, and whatnot. And what are you working on tonight, Deacon?
I am working on a bit of a special project. This is my first actual Forge World model that I've worked on. So this is it's got a really fucking complicated name. This is a Legio Custodes Contemptor Achilles Dreadnought. And it is a big golden dreadnought that I'm working on for a friend of mine as part of a commission that I'm doing.
That's cool.
So,
And he's the
going
one that's
through,
building the Custodi army.
Yep. And let me
That
tell
nobody's
you,
going to want to play.
yeah, I've not been enjoying this so far. It's the whole process of washing the resin and cleaning it and drying it. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, this is all Forge World stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
Well, some of it. A lot of it is, but...
this is the dreadnought is the only Forge World thing. The rest of it is all GW.
Oh, I thought some of the other stuff came from... Okay, all right.
Nope, it's all GW
Yeah.
plastic.
But I hear you. You got to get that release, the mold release off there and really dry the resin before you can paint them. I mean, you're going to have to wait to spray paint them anyway, so they'll be dry.
But I meant for assembling,
Yeah.
because you should let them dry before you assemble them as well, so that the glue doesn't get all kind of messed up.
Yeah. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, we do the workbench every Friday night in the second half of the show. And then on Saturdays, instead of doing a workbench, we do From the Battle Zone, where we'll play a tabletop game, sometimes a dice game, a card game. Just depends on what we're in the mood for and what we see that we haven't played in ages.
Yeah. So what are we playing tomorrow? Do you know?
I don't know what we're playing tomorrow. Maybe we could play another scenario of Memoir 44. Is Griffin going to be here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So apparently we're going to have a guest tomorrow. Griffin will be back on, and
For the third time now. He's
for
our
the
most,
third time.
he's our most common guest. He's
Yeah.
our only guest.
He's been our only guest so
He's-
far. Yeah. Like our actual in stream, rather than bringing him in from the outside. But yeah. So I'm gonna jump in here. But
I
if
already
you're
started.
lurking in the background, welcome. We're glad to have you. Drop us some chat, and we'd love to.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? What's up?
We have deep
We're
Hermetic
sorry-
Gamers here. Chris is here.
Yeah.
All right.
How's it going, Chris? We're so sorry that we missed you last time when you were in here.
Yeah.
It's
I think he mentioned too. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Chris? I think he mentioned that he had dropped in because he had get one of the little ones to bed, and he was just popping in for a few to see what's going on. But Joe's here, by the way, Chris. He was here earlier. I'm not sure if he's here for the second half of the show, but Joe Alfano. So that might be a blast for you two to catch up. But we're pretty much working on the same stuff tonight. Deacon is working on some Custodes for his friend who's putting together a new 40k army, and I'm gonna get some final steps on these goblins before I start washing them. I've got all the base coats down on
Oh, Joe's still here.
7 of them, and I've got 4 more figures to go before I start doing the final touch. So I'm just gonna jump in. I'm gonna
I have already
get right in
done.
here. Got my headset all charged up and ready to go.
Sitting on your deck in the dark,
There he
drinking a
is.
much needed beer. Well, good for you, man.
Nice. That's a nice way to get some downtime there.
Good way to end the week, I say, never having drank before.
I think this weekend feels like it's going to be a good weekend for maybe a little pit fire and a beer.
Yeah, it's the weather. The weather's been getting a bit chillier out lately. It's
Oh, yeah.
nice. It's really nice, actually.
I think I'm going to do this guy's pants in blue.
Oh,
don't
give him
use
the old denim
blue.
treatment.
Yeah, I don't use blue that often.
I've got
I really should.
You could use that. That's like a nice kind of blue jean color blue.
What is that called?
I think it's Altdorf Guard blue.
It is.
Yeah, named after the Altdorf Guards, who I have a sneaking suspicion we'll be dealing with.
I think I'm gonna try one of my army. I appreciate it. I'm gonna hand this back to you, but I'm gonna go with one of my army painter
Oh, damn,
paints.
there goes my chance to charge you for using my
And
paints.
I'm gonna charge me for using your paints. Like, should I go over there and count how many bottles of mine you have?
Yeah.
Ultramarine blue.
Please do. I've got none of yours over
We
here.
talked about this, right?
Yep.
The army painter ultramarine blue.
Yep.
Wolf gray. That's a nice one. I could do that, and I could do a blue wash over that. I think I'm gonna do that.
Do you mind if I set that there?
No, I don't mind it.
Okay, I just don't want to like have it on the wire there. Oh, let's see. Yeah, what are you doing, man? You're wearing a fleece in this weather? This is like, we're this close to like throwing on some shorts, breaking out the grill.
Yeah. Which I did last winter. I one of those days it was
Yeah,
covered
in
in
the middle
snow
of
out there, and I
fucking
had to
winter.
like dig my way out and fire up the grill in the middle of that. That's been in our family. We've been doing that for like, Christ, I don't know how long. Tradition. All right. So keeping with what I've been doing, working with the insane detail brush from the army painter. I'm going to continue on this week with that brush. Skeeter's going to get you. We haven't had them too bad here in the backyard. We've been really fortunate about not having a whole lot of mosquitoes.
This year too, there have been like not a whole lot.
Although my right shin would beg to differ. I do have two massive mosquito bites on that.
Well, when we were Jesus.
But I mean, counting like the whole summer down to, up to this point, those are the only two that I can think of that I've had.
Like we when Mom and I were out on Thursday morning, just yesterday, there were like none of them out there. It was great.
Yeah, you guys probably have that like awesome scenery up there at the new place. So for Chris, who might not know this, and for anybody else who might be lurking out there who's not in chat, one of the people that's in the chat right now, one of our friends, is Zombie Joe, and he's a local legend here in Madison. He runs the Adventurers League here, D&D Adventurers League, and very, very heavily involved in running that at the biggest convention here in Wisconsin, Gamehole Con. And he's going to be launching his own channel, and I don't know how much I can say about that, but maybe I wasn't supposed to say that, so I apologize. But you are a local legend. You're laughing at that. You are a local legend.
In the gaming community, for sure.
Absolutely. And it's an honor to have him drop in this evening and check us out. See what we got going on here, coming from the Black Dragon Tavern, also known as my wife calls it, the Nerd Nest.
Oh, she's not entirely wrong.
Yeah, she's not wrong. So, Chris, did you get any more of that Star Wars Legion painted? Oh, I see. It says the rich folks across the street have the waterfront. The rich folks at the top of the cliff have behind us have the view. What do you guys do? Don't you have? Am I misremembering, or don't you have like basically a backyard and there's like a fence or something, and there's a cliff with a straight drop down to the beach or something?
That's the wrong piece.
You know who else has that, Deacon?
Who?
Stefan Pokorny.
Yep.
His place. He's got like
I've
that.
seen that in Washington
Yeah.
State, right?
Yep. Yeah. Joe says the cliff goes up 150 feet behind them.
Wow.
No drunken parties there.
Oh shit.
You need some. You need to like kit out your guests at a party with like Baron Harkonnen suspensor belts with auto sensors. So if they fall off the edge, it just kicks in and they float. They hover. That's cool. This is they get a really killer sound of the waves bouncing off the wall behind them. Oh, you're at the bottom of the cliff. Okay, I thought you guys. Okay, maybe that's what I misunderstood. I thought you guys were at the top.
Well, that's good for you. The drunken parties are back on.
So then what you need is you need a drone to fly it up to the top of the cliff and see what the fuck's going on up there. Get you like an Amazon delivery grade drone, fly it up there and have them loaded up with like caviar and champagne. Speaking of like parties and yard parties and stuff, I really am still jonesing to throw a little cookout here, a little backyard soiree.
Soiree, fancy.
Yeah, fancy. Soiree. Suave. Rico. Suave. Count yourself lucky that you don't know what that reference is.
Oh, oh, ow, 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 ow.
I'll bet at least a couple people on the stream here do, though.
Well, there's the first accident of the build.
Look at you all bougie
my
and
phone
shit.
to it.
Yeah, Joe, you got to put some pictures up once you get that going. I'm curious to see how you do that. You gonna get sound wired in? You're gonna get some speakers and stuff, hidden wires and stuff. Is there a lot of that, Chris? A lot of tokens and stuff, and a lot of cards for the game. I remember the one minis game that had just like it was like the WizKids minis. Every figure had a card for it, a little action card or whatever, capabilities card. Well, this is a pretty good blue.
That's good.
It's nice coverage too. It's not giving me any trouble. Nice. Are you gonna do? Is it gonna be like a themed room? Is it gonna be like rustic? You know, like cottagey, medieval, Tudor, British pub, or English pub or whatever. Contemporary, modern tavern core. Okay, right on. Between your painting gear, Chris, and your Star Wars stuff, you know, like you should just get one of those new panel vans. What were those called, Deacon? We were looking at those for Geek Foundry.
Oh, I can't remember what they were called. The actual name of them, at least. Can't remember.
Stalker vans. That's what Joe said. Excuse me, can you help me put this couch in the van? I said that a couple weeks ago at a work thing and freaked the people out that was sitting around me. They were like, okay. Because they knew exactly what I was talking about. Free candy. Yeah, exactly, Chris. You could like do it like 1970s style, like conversion vans. You know, get a wizard painted on the side of it with like a rainbow behind it, and a mountain with a waterfall. Get you an 8-track player in the back of the van, or get you in the front of the van and like hook up surround sound in on the inside. Grow a little porn stash.
Like the van from the Knights of Badassdom.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one
There's-
that we haven't watched in a while.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. But yeah, you're right. We haven't seen that in quite a while. Oh no, wait, dude. There's like another little snotling hanging off this guy's side pouch.
Oh, it's hilarious. Let me guess, you didn't paint that?
No, because I thought it was like tassels for this bag or something. But now I can see the actual face. But that's gonna get painted.
Alright. Well, there's part of the torso symbol.
He says, "I got the battle wagon already. Need to block out the windows." Keyword again. That's right, Joe. What's a good one? Let me try this one. Mythical Orange.
Get 3 more people chatting. We could get that five chatter achievement.
Yeah, I don't know if we could right now. I mean, there's you, there's me. Mom's kind of like tied up in her thing.
Yeah. Oh well.
I'm not gonna sweat it.
Matching set.
There's a stream I watch on Twitch. It's a drag racing stream from a track in Texas. And it's hilarious because apparently mullets are the thing again in Texas. And oh my god, Twitch lights up with that. Like every time somebody comes on screen with a mullet, they lose their shit. And there's some pretty heavy duty mullets there, I gotta tell you. I had one in the 80s. We didn't call it a mullet back then. I think you hit the nail on the head with that one, Joe. I've seen Chris's college pictures. Oh, dude, what's up with this? This is like...
Oh, is that the orange?
Yeah, it's gonna explode on me.
Oh.
It's plugged up.
Yeah, the orange sucks.
You keep saying that, but like... I haven't had that issue. Yep, there it is.
Big plug in there.
Yep. It's like big clogged artery.
Oh, fun. Is there a difference between these?
This orange reminds me of like the butter chicken that we get from Maharana.
A good way or a bad way?
In a good way. It's like I want to eat it, but I'm like, what the fuck? It's paint. That's something I want to learn how to make. If I could master that, boy, we would never have to
Yeah, that does sound like a really cool game, actually.
spend money on that.
Chris was saying Aaron was playing D&D in Spokane with a whole bunch of drag queens.
Nice. Oh my god, I just got an idea. We could have a group, Dungeons and Drag Queens.
That's a great name for it, actually. Oh my god. My fingers are killing me this weekend. I've gotten glue on, like, pretty much all of them.
Stop gluing your fingers together, Beavis.
Yeah, glue is for eating, not paint.
I'll bet you, like, you know, like, that's the thing. It's like you almost have to, like, lock the IP in before you start talking to anybody about it, because somebody will, like, snatch that shit in a heartbeat.
Yep.
And they've got the money, they've got the lawyers. Oh my god, I just realized I'm painting him in the, like, same color scheme as Fifth Element. What was his name? Corbin. I saw a meme the other day. It said, Lil Nas is the real life Ruby Rod. And I just laughed so hard I couldn't stop thinking about that all day. I'm like, oh my god, it's so true.
You know,
Fuck, how am I
I
gonna get in
wouldn't be
here?
entirely surprised if that was his marketing team that made that meme.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be hilarious.
His marketing team lately have been like,
Oh, they're on point.
oh, they have been off the hook, yeah. Have you seen the billboards that just went up within the last day or two?
No.
So he put up billboards all across the US in a ton of different cities, and they're all like, do you hate Lil Nas X? You may be entitled to financial compensation. Go to www.montero.com, and it's like the site to his it's just the link to his album.
Sure. That's pretty funny.
The aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah, that's the, there were a lot, well, I guess it's the whole MO with the director of that movie. Same director that did, oh shoot, what was the other one? He's a French director who did another sci-fi movie based on a French comic series, I think it was. And the name is just, we saw it and it was like, it had potential, but it was really nothing to write home. So, a young man and a young woman were in the lead roles.
Oh, was this the one?
Something, it was about something city, or there was like a...
Yeah, shit. It was
saw
kind
it
of
in the theater.
sci-fi. Valerian.
Valerian.
Yep.
Thank you. It had more names than that, but...
It was all right from what I remember.
Right, it had potential. It's like they could have polished it up a little bit. It could have used a little more work, and it would have been a good thing. Um, that's my opinion, anyway. And there was a lot of sexism in that, because of course the female lead, the woman lead in that, she was kick ass.
Oh, she was.
I'm painting like a drunk. Tonight, for some reason, my hand's shaky, and I'm trying to get into this little...
You did say this weekend was the weekend for, like, fire pits and drinking or whatever the hell you said. We've got a fire side chat. It's close enough.
Close enough. Fire cider.
Path of the Drunken Painter Monk. Which way does this go on?
So you know shit's getting real if like I start speaking out of sync with everything that's going on with the video.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a whole lot more sense. Okay. And I was about to say, this piece is like really fucked up.
Chris, what's Aaron up to tonight? Do you know? Have you talked to him?
How does this go?
Deacon, have you ever watched that show,
I love that show.
Lucifer? It's on Netflix. It's a series.
Don't believe so.
Your boy Key was in it. Keenan Michael Key. Is that his name?
No, it doesn't sound familiar. What was it about?
Lucifer. In the modern times. You know, I haven't watched it. I've watched bits and pieces of episodes here and there. It's supposed to be okay from what I've read, but didn't really seem like it was my thing, my kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. Well, it's like our buddy Tom. He says, "So, what are you doing next weekend?" I said, "Streaming."
Let's see. Assembly. Oh, this is something I love and I hate about some of these kits that let you like pose the legs. On the one hand, it's like they let you pose the legs. That's pretty cool. And on the other hand, it's like, okay, how do I get these to stick in place while I'm figuring out how to get them into the pose that I want them to be in? And then how do I glue them into that pose, you know?
Yeah, it's like, you're drunk, 40K Mini, go home.
Yeah.
You're like putting glue dots on it and toothpicks and creating all kinds of crazy armatures to hold it up.
Yeah, we gotta get paint night going again.
We're here?
Yeah. Chris was saying, I miss sitting at paint night with you jackasses.
Well, Chris, okay, what do you think about
Disqualified for calling us jackasses.
What do you what do you think about coming here and we could set you at the table behind us. We could put a camera on your stuff. You don't have to be on camera unless you want to, and we could have you on as a guest during like one of the paint nights.
Hey, Aaron, how's it going?
There he is. Hey,
There
Aaron,
he is.
our VIP is in the house. Yeah. Now we could hit the 5.
Now we could.
Yep. So, probably all you need to do is pop a message in there, and I run back out to mine.
You could do it from your phone
Yep.
as well.
Chat, I will be right back.
Yeah, here we go. He just really wants that achievement. Also, yeah, Chris, you're completely right. Trying to pose these legs... These legs suck. Especially because it's resin, and I feel like if I am not careful enough with it, some of these smaller pieces are just going to crack here. So... yeah, free weekends are getting a lot harder to find, it seems like.
Think that ought to do it. If it doesn't, I'll be so pissed. All that work. Wonder who that mystery guest was that was over there chatting up a storm.
Alright, one leg. Yay. This is going very slowly.
We got to get affiliated, Chris. Once we get affiliated, we can give like VIP memberships and stuff, and then you can get cool icons next to your name.
So the one above Joe's, or the next to, I suppose, the one next to Joe's is Twitch Prime. So if you are subscribed to the Twitch Prime service, you'll get that one. Where's Daskell? I don't think he has Twitch. I think he just catches the recordings.
Yeah, he constantly belabors himself as being, or bemoans himself as being old and not having Twitch and can't do the Twitch. And I told him I'll help you get it set up, because he's got it. He could do it on his phone, and his phone would come in just fine. They're spotty. I think their connection at home is a little spotty. So he catches us on the YouTubes.
I gotta tilt my phone so I can actually read the chat without breaking my neck.
Men on Boat. Same true story of the 1889 charting of the Colorado River into the Grand Canyon.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, awesome. We just saw Daskell last night. In fact, too, Chris, we went over to his house for, excuse me, for dinner. Pam invited us over, and it was his birthday. So we went over there, had a little Italian food.
Oh yeah, had the last of that bread this morning. That was good.
Yeah, I stuck that in the fridge for you because it was sitting out on the counter. I didn't want it to go stale.
Ah, okay.
Harden up overnight and
I was wondering why that was in there.
Sick.
Yeah, I stuck it in the microwave for a bit. I wrapped it up in paper towels, stuck it in the microwave. It was pretty good.
Didn't harden up after that, like dry out? I know usually it'll warm up and get a little steamy, but then like when they cool down like that after you do that in the microwave, they tend to like go like a brick, thick as a brick.
It didn't actually. It's a comedy and all gruff male characters are played by women. That sounds awesome.
It's like the opposite of Kabuki.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of Kabuki? Boo Kitty?
Kitty.
Boo Boo Kitty?
Kitty.
Boo Boo Kitty fuck. Do you remember Silent Bob and Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this was nice. This was it's called like pull apart bread or something like that. It was effectively just breadsticks, but it had what did it have? It had like seppuku, yeah. It had a whole lot of black pepper on it and sliced garlic. So instead of just like garlic powder stuff like that on there, it was actual full on thin
fresh garlic.
sliced garlic. It was nice.
The food in general was okay. It was like nothing to write home about, but it was like better than a pizza joint. Not as good as like a the name of the place was La Rocca. La Rocca, ROCCA. And it was over in Oregon. And I had the veal. Deacon had the veal that came with a side of linguine and their house-made pasta sauce, which was a little too sweet for my taste, but it wasn't terrible. The veal was nice. I was super happy about that. The Caesar salads, they
Lettuce in a bowl.
I didn't think it was possible to kind of F that up, but they weren't great. You want a good Caesar salad, you got to go to Lombardino's.
Or
their tapenade that they put on that.
Yeah,
oh,
never mind.
the bomb.
Oh shit! There it goes. Yay. I was about to say Kaminsky Brothers, but then I remembered theirs is a garbage salad, not a Caesar.
No.
Is that what they call it? Garbage salad?
Yeah. That's not an Italian place either. It's just a big steakhouse.
No.
But man, do they do that upright.
Oh yeah.
They're surf and turf. Crazy. I can't eat that shit anymore.
Oh, in very small quantities.
Oh, that's nice. You know, Aaron, there are a lot of places, and maybe I'm going to the wrong places, but like, I can't find very many Italian restaurants around here that'll do eggplant.
We don't have a whole. Oh, well, that's a lie. Actually, never mind.
We do an eggplant here out of a cookbook, out of a Mediterranean cookbook. It's like goes on a little bruschetta, and it's a marinated eggplant. It's really nice. I do, Chris. Well, they didn't do it at the restaurant, but like when I'm doing garlic here for like my Lita, my grandmother's Spanish rice, I have a Victorinox paring knife, super sharp, razor sharp. You can actually shave with it, and I have this technique that I do. It's kind of like Paulie and Goodfellas, but a little faster. And basically, I hold the garlic down, hide my fingernails so I don't slice it off, and I rest the tip of the knife on the cutting board, and I slide it back and forth. But I can get that shit so paper thin that it literally does melt in the pan if you're sautéing it with other stuff. It's really cool. It took me a long time to get that technique down, but I got it.
And it tastes good as well, which is the important part.
The one thing I learned about cooking with garlic is like if you leave it sit on the counter on the cutting board 10-15 minutes, and that opens up. I don't know what it does. It becomes like much more aromatic, and it opens it up and makes it better. Because people tend to throw it in right away, but I don't know. It's something about like you're cutting into it and opening up all the little cells in there, and all the juices come out and stuff, or something like that.
Interesting.
Do you guys eat that stuff, Chris? The eggplant? Damn it. I got like... It's that thing again where I can
Making
see...
eggplant is too labor intensive. That's how I feel about making most things higher than a sandwich.
Food that has evolved higher than a sandwich.
Yeah, anything that you, like...
higher
Like a
than
good
a
sandwich, you know, slice of
Fucking
bread,
classic.
some peanut butter, another some jam, another slice of bread. That's good. I don't see you got like a winning combo there. You don't need to add too much more to that. It's evolved too far.
This guy don't know nothing about vegetarian stuff or
Ugh,
vegetables.
God,
Like
no.
some of the best meals that we make here are like Indian themed dishes, and with like lentils with dal, like urad dal, which is like a black lentil,
Disgusting.
and it's not disgusting. Cauliflower, peas.
Cauliflower's
Um,
I suppose.
God, what else we put in there? Little bit of rice, just a little bit of. We usually do a little bit of white rice on the side, but not a whole lot because of the carbs. But yeah, we've gotten really good at cooking up that stuff. Peanut butter and banana, isn't that like an Elvis Presley thing? Kids will eat the eggplant if it's crispy. Huevos Rancheros says most good things take time. Yeah, huevos rancheros, kale risotto, Brussels sprouts with balsamic reduction. That sounds good. We do a lot of Brussels here too, like
We
whole
do.
whole bunch of different
Actually,
ways.
those aren't bad.
Yeah, I'm surprised you like Brussels. It makes me happy.
I am too. You can say that about like pretty much any vegetable, but I'm surprised I like that as well.
I keep missing these little spots in here.
That's weird. Oh, there's glue on here. Okay.
Which? I don't know where that's at, Chris.
This has got to be the big one.
Yeah, nice. Pan-seared stewed in vegetable broth and balsamic vinegar. Alright, now I think I can touch him up and then do that little snotling.
Oh, I thought you were doing that already.
No, I had to go back in and do some touch up on here because, like, I'm doing this guy's vest in orange, and I'm finding little bits of the vest poking out here, poking out there, and I'm like,
Strip
oh,
mall
that's
by
what
the
it
movie
is.
theater Rockies. Oh yeah, I know where that is. Okay. I think I know the one you're talking about at least.
Over there by High Point, by Home Depot, in that area, the strip mall by the movie theater.
I think he means Rocky Rococo.
That's the only movie theater I can think of, but that movie theater is closed. What other movie theaters around here? There's one in Middleton, or not Middleton, Fitchburg.
Wait, is that in Fitchburg? Down near the Woodlands?
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Like you're talking probably about Sun Prairie, right? Palace is open, yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yep, that's what. Okay, that's what I thought, Chris. After I was thinking about it for a minute there.
You know what's kind of funny about this guy? This dreadnought I'm assembling?
What's that?
This is a dreadnought. He is, big, big combat coffin. Big mech,
Funny how? Like he amuses you?
Yeah.
Like some fucking clown?
He's like just a few heads taller than these other guys because they're so big.
Jeez. I wonder when GW will hit the limit on that. Like, what's the biggest we can make these bastards?
What about the Titan? That's like that big.
Yeah.
Did you see the Titan they were showing off on their Facebook page?
No.
It was
GW was?
Yeah, it was a fan built one. This guy made it out of like fucking cardstock and wood and like all this shit, and it's like as tall as his back porch door.
Jesus, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's massive. As much as I am glad that I left Detroit, I gotta tell you, one of the cool things about living in Detroit, and again, for those anybody who've tuned in for the first time, like I grew up in Detroit, Southwest Detroit, not one of the burbs, not like Sterling Heights or Madison Heights or any of those places, but right in Southwest Detroit. We had little hamlets. We had all kinds of these little sub-communities that were technically within the city limits. Some of them were kind of questionable whether they had been annexed or whatever, but there was a big Polish community called Hamtramck, and I swear to God, it's like if you wanted pierogies or punchkis, that's where you went. Like, that shit was off the hook. I mean, like, oh my God, they were so good. Never learned how to make them, but yeah, I'm with, who's it that Chris said he wants to learn how to make them? I'm gonna back this chat up a little bit. Oh, yeah, Aaron said that. He wants to learn, he's always wanted to learn how to make pierogies.
Salvatore's Tomato Pies. I've not gotten pizza from there, but I have.
Your mom loves that place, by the way.
I was gonna say, I personally haven't gotten food from there.
Yeah,
but
Joe,
I've heard really, really good things about them.
Yeah, in fact, that's the one that Joe just said. Like your mom got this, and I had it, and we were both going like ape shit over it. It's a wine poached fig and bacon pizza, and I know that might freak you out, but it was
the wine
so
poached and the bacon part of it doesn't. I just don't like figs. Not my thing.
You gotta have them with. I like them on their own. I'll eat them on their own, but like, they're good with other stuff. A little bit of goat cheese. You can stuff them with goat cheese, and you can wrap them in bacon.
I don't like goat cheese either.
You know, that's how you would probably like it. You just bite into the whole thing, and it's a whole flavor profile right there.
You got me with the bacon. I'm a fan of that.
On V-Day. Was that Victory Day, Chris?
Was that Victory Day or Valentine's Day?
I shouldn't do that shit on Twitch. So.
Vegan sausage pizza.
Is it like Satan? Satan?
Yeah, all vegan things.
I know like usually a lot of vegan things that have like meat substitutes, they'll either use soy crumbles or Satan.
Tofu or Satan.
Satan.
Something about, I don't get why they make like vegan sausages. You know, it kind of seems like if you want to not eat that, then
Well, it's a good way to eliminate the vegan population. You know, I mean, you just grind them up and you like.
yeah.
Did I say that out loud? That's so wrong. I shouldn't say that.
Jackfruit barbecue.
Jackfruit's some crazy shit. You ever see that?
Yep. Oh, I might be thinking of dragon fruit actually. Which one is jackfruit?
Jackfruit. You remember that restaurant we were just looking at? It was the Note to Self restaurant that you wrote when you were a kid.
Oh yeah.
Green. What was it? Owl.
Yeah.
Green Owl.
Yeah.
So they had like jackfruit carnitas, and you were like, "What the fuck are jackfruit carnitas? How can they call it that?" You were like going on a like righteous bender about that.
Don't call it carnitas if it's not carnitas.
Yeah.
There's like a fundamental problem with that.
Jackfruit barbecue. I would try it. I'd try me some jackfruit barbecue.
You know,
I mean, that sounds like that's. I could be wrong, but that sounds like that's going into like Caribbean territory right there. Get a little barbecue going.
big spiky
Yeah, Joe, I did.
thing.
I remember because we talked about that. Like, oh, where the hell were we? Maybe it was the closing party for Pegasus before the reopening that happened like 24 hours later.
Yeah.
And you had lost a bunch of weight, and it's the first time I had seen you in a while, and you were telling me like about all the changes that you made about going vegan and that. Jennifer and I kind of did that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jennifer and I kind of did that for a little bit. Like after my heart attack, we cut way. We didn't completely do it, but we cut way back on the red meat. Like I'm talking maybe once a month for red meat. Chicken maybe 3 times a month. Pork almost never, and then fish filled in there, filled a lot of the void.
So sad.
We just up the fiber, up the intake of the fruits and vegetables.
Such a sad life.
No, man, it's awesome. It's really good for your body. It's really good, and it makes you feel good. You don't wake up feeling like shit. You're not sitting on the toilet like trying to, knock one out. It's everything's like smooth and right on.
Right on. Jerk jackfruit. Huh.
Yeah, totally Caribbean, Jamaican.
Where the fuck did that thing go? That's not it. That's not it. Is this it? Ooh, I'm so glad I didn't clip that off.
Yeah, so with us, what happened, Joe, was like we wound up like we're eating a little more meat now than we were post heart attack, but I keep pushing, and kind of telling Jennifer, no, we can't do this. I can't keep stuffing it in my face, and I say that. Full disclosure,
I made these bomb ass burgers tonight, and they were so fucking good.
I like total hypocrite. Like I had a double cheeseburger tonight, like, and it reminded me of home, reminded me of Detroit so much, like a Mott's burger. And you should if you got good pictures, you should put that up on the gram.
I got good pictures.
Put it up on the gram, and then people can kind of see like.
On.
To be like, those fools over at that Black Dragon Tavern know how to cook, man. Those guys are throwing down. You know what we should put up there is that Hobbit meal that
what we should put up there is like every picture I've said I was gonna put up there and never did.
Yeah, that'd be a good start. Like all the miniature painting stuff.
I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this up on screen if my brightness is too high or whatever. But there's one of them that we made, one of like 8 burgers. So.
Yeah, it's okay. That doesn't do that burger justice.
No, it doesn't. We'll put it up on the gram.
See, that's the one thing. Like, okay, so you're mostly veg, high fiber, and fish once a week. That's good. That sounds really good. If you remove dairy from your diet, it strangely clears in mine. It makes it. I'll tell you what it clears on me: my throat. I'm not all the time, I mean, like I get like, and it's probably lactose, like a mild degree of being allergic to lactose or something. I don't know, I've never been tested for it, but I get phlegmy when I drink dairy. And I know it's TMI for everybody out there listening, but let's be real, right? This is real life. If you don't talk about this shit, you're never gonna know. So for me, I like dairy, I like cheese, I like milk. I can't. I used to sit and drink a whole glass of milk. Now it's like, nah, I don't really get a craving for it that much. I'll have it if it's in cereal once in a blue moon. But I like a little bit of cream in my eggs when I scramble my eggs. And other than that, like I don't know if I could totally give up dairy. I don't do coffee. I see Chris mentioned almost no coffee and rarely dairy. I had to give up caffeine because of my ticker. Yeah, speaking of TikTok, Joe, we were talking about that earlier. I got my own TikTok, man. It's implanted right here.
Okay, so I was going to ask about that. The sushi place that opened up next to Misty. I'm always very kind of wary about trying sushi from places. Mostly because I'm just scared, like, oh, alright, what if they, the fish or whatever. But I was going to see if anybody that I knew has tried that. Take it from what you said, their sushi's pretty good.
Your mom just said that. She goes, I'm surprised Deacon hasn't been hitting you up to bring him over here for lunch. And I said, yeah, I'm surprised about that too.
Well, maybe I'll have to now.
I'd get some stuff from there.
Oh yeah, it's close. It is really close to home, which I like. It's
we
a
could
lot.
Walk up there.
Oh, I hate walking, dude.
I know, but that's how I get I got to get my steps in.
Hey, give me some sushi on the way back from the gym when we go. I'm good. I will do my steps. I will do my workouts. The hibachi, they have hibachi
somehow,
there?
There's
Man,
something...
fuck the sushi. Give me a steak on the way back from the gym.
Oh, damn. That's like the magic words.
Oh, all right. Well, now we gotta go there and try it out.
Well, that's like we would go to Takara over there on by Easttown by Half Price Books
Takumi.
and Penzies. Takumi, yeah.
Yeah.
Takara's over on the west side in, is that the west side? Middleton? That's Midtown? I don't know. Middleton, where I used to work. And because they had that other really good Mexican restaurant there too. But Takara, yeah, was really good. Sushi. But yeah, I'm talking about
Oh,
Takumi over by the mall. That's the one
Yeah.
by Half Price Books and Penzies.
they're good. I want to go back there sometime soon. You know what I want to do, honestly?
Why don't you tell me what you want, what you really, really want?
I would like to get a group together, like a group of my friends or whatever, and I want to finally rent out that like private booth in there.
Oh,
The one
yeah.
where you gotta take your shoes off, you go sit down in there, they close the door, they hand deliver you all your stuff. Oh, dude, the only problem with that is they don't have hibachi in there. Which
They
kinda
can, you
sucks.
can order it off the menu. No, they
Well,
won't
you,
cook
you
at the
can,
table. They don't
yeah,
have a
I know, but
hibachi
like they
cooking
don't
table.
actually have the cook. at the-
Teppanyaki is what that's
teppanyaki.
called.
Okay.
Yeah, where they cook at the
Good
table.
to know.
Um,
I
but
do
they'll bring it. You
cooking.
can order off the hibachi menu, off the teppanyaki menu. And we did actually sit back there one time a long time ago, but you wouldn't remember it because you were a wee toddler.
Guess we'll have to go back.
I could throw it out on some sushi.
Hell yeah.
And if you don't know, like, if any of you out there on the stream right now shop at the co-op, the Willie Street Co-op, they have really good sushi, fresh. They make it like every day there. One of our really near and dear friends did that full time over there for quite a long time.
Ow, motherfucker. This
Coconut
has been
milk.
a
Huh.
this mini. Well,
I like
model of whatever you
Chris.
call
I like coconut milk in like Thai food and a lot of Asian dishes, but
Yeah.
Jennifer's not so big on it. She's kind of coming around.
it. I don't actually. So funny thing is, I would go so far as to say I hate coconut. I can't stand it. Like just eating it or whatever. Like when you crack it open and you drink it, you know. But I have had coconut milk used in recipes
Yeah, that's
like
right,
that
Joe.
before, and it's been pretty good.
Joe just mentioned that coconut milk's big in Caribbean dishes too. That's right.
Yeah.
When we used to go to Jolly Bob's, they had a whole bunch of stuff on the menu. They had coconut and coconut milk. I miss that place, except for the ass fish. True story. One of the early times when I was dating Jennifer before we got married, when I had just moved here to Madison, we went over to Jolly Bob's and we're getting that really good drinks. I mean, whoever the bartender was over there at the time, they did one of the best pours in town. Like they could make a drink. So we always tipped them really well. But we're in there, we're getting dinner one night, and it's a kind of funky little place, Jamaican place, and we were both pretty tipsy at that point. And we were gonna get dinner, and the waitress was telling us what the specials were, and I don't remember. It wasn't like ahi tuna. It wasn't mahi mahi. It was some weird name. And she's like, it's on special tonight, and it's this rare fish, and yada yada yada. And we're like, ooh, that sounds really good. Yeah, we'll take that. So we each got the special. They brought it out. It smelled like straight up ass, and I was kind of like Dave Chappelle, like on a bender about this thing. I'm like, this smells like dookie. I'm like, this smells like straight up ass. Like, this smells like the chef done went up there and did a stank palm on this plate and brought it out. What the fuck? And the waitress was cracking up. She thought I was doing a bit. And I'm like, no, seriously. And I stuck it up in her face. And she was like, oh my God, how did I not even notice it? We have no clue to this day what the hell was wrong with that fish. But ever since then, it was dubbed the ass fish of Jolly Bob. So, yeah, that didn't happen that night. So they comped the meal. They gave us something else. Said order whatever you want on the menu. And they took it back to the kitchen, and I guess it turned out that there was something wrong. But what I want to know is, how the fuck didn't anybody notice that while they're preparing it, and they cooked it and brought it out to us? Had to get right under my nose and ruined my dinner for me. Yeah. Uh-oh, network error.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're live again. Stream should be back up now.
Oh no. It says the broadcast you were watching has ended.
Yep, internet died.
Okay. And we're back. Yeah, so we had a network crash over here.
Oh yeah.
So, man, that sucks. I was just right in the middle of the Jolly Bob's ass fish story. So, um, I think, will have an uninterrupted recording of this that we
Yep.
do locally on the machine here in the background.
Can you hand me the drill
So,
bits?
on Twitch, we're going to wind up with a
Drill
two-part
bits.
VOD again. Somebody got their wish. You earlier were going, we could do episode 20 this
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
We could stop the video and start it up
Welcome
in
back
10
to
minutes.
episode 19,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. look
Yeah,
at
now
that.
we're on episode 18, part 2. But we'll have that up on YouTube, the uninterrupted VOD, in case anybody's interested. Anyway, the Jolly Bob Ashfish story, Ashfish story is not even really worth repeating, but it's just like one of those things. Well, thanks for sticking with us through that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And oh, it's 10.
Is it 10 already?
It is 10 already.
Wow. Well, what do you think there,
Um,
Cisco?
Well, it sucks. This is one of the nights I'm down to stick it out a bit longer, but we can't go too late because we gotta go.
Well, no, we don't really. Not for a while. And in case you're wondering what he's talking about, we got to go tonight at the Crucible
We're running
here in
away.
Madison. We're going to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
So all that smack I was talking about earlier about like being afraid to go out. Yeah, I know. It's like another, Russian roulette, another spin of the revolver. But I think we should be okay. We're going to be masked up, and I don't think it's going to be that packed over there. So if anybody's interested, if you want to go catch the Rocky Horror Picture Show tonight, doors open at 11:30 at Crucible on Madison's east side. Tickets are only $8 a piece, and the show starts at midnight. So once we wrap things here, we'll get the VOD going. That'll take care of itself on Twitch. And I probably will just put off uploading the one to YouTube till tomorrow because that takes an hour and a half. And then we're gonna head over there. That's
no
what we got
video
planned for the night.
movement. Huh.
Uh-oh.
Weird.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, Joe. I told Deacon, I said, I should have given him homework to learn the time warp. I go, did you learn the time warp? And he's like, the what? I'm like, psh. I remember I said, it's really simple. It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. And I'll probably be rusty up there trying to remember that stuff. It's been years since I've been to a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, see, there you go. It's just a jump to the left and a step to the right. Place your hands on your hips. I can't remember the next lyric now. It'll be fun. That's the one I was telling you, Deacon. Like, there was some controversy about it now from younger LGBTQIA plus folks about some of the language and some of the content
Well,
in
you
it.
know what the funny thing is?
What's that?
You were telling me, whoever that was that you knew that was saying that, but
It was an article I read online.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah. But I am on a local Madison area LGBTQ Discord server,
Uh-huh.
and I was asking about that, and everyone was like, "Oh, I love that. I love that."
Well, yeah, and this is why I say, like, I don't put a lot of stock in some of the stuff I read. Like, I try to read a diverse array of opinions, and like I'm subscribed to It Gets Better. I'm subscribed to a lot of LGBTQIA plus publications on Facebook. But this one I happened to stumble across. I can't remember what the source was. I was chasing down info from Polygon and on other show notes, and I came across this article. And like, the author put it really well. Like, every generation has created the language that it needs for its own time. So the language in Rocky Horror Picture Show and the whole phenomenon around it, LGBTQIA plus folks back then couldn't really come out like they did today. They were persecuted, and they were, in the middle of the AIDS epidemic and terrible things. They had like legislators trying to, basically like go back to outlawing homosexuality and stuff like that. So it was a major thing, for its time. What's for dinner? Meatloaf again? Yeah, see, Chris, I know that's why I knew you were one of my people. Chris, I don't know if you saw this. He says, haven't seen that in so long. I miss when the vampire larpers and Rocky Horror folks would all show up at Denny's at 2:30 a.m. That was us after the goth club, too, yeah. I'm too old. My hips don't move that way no more. That's funny.
Ooh, that'll work. That'll
I'll
work.
have to look that up. Jack Black doing the time warp, huh? I'll bet that's pretty funny. That's right, Chris. They did find their safe space there. You could let your freak flag fly. That's what I was telling Deacon. I said, "What are you wearing tonight?" And you're gonna wear your whole kit because that's that's your people. You'll be there, and everybody will be. There will probably be people in costume. Yeah, make of it what you will. I don't. We tend not to use the word tribe around here too much. Um, it's a cultural thing. I mean, like, I am like 1/8 Cherokee or whatever it is, and even I get squeamish about using the word tribe, but I get it.
That's cool.
Chris, if you I don't know if you do Discord or not, but like you could put the links on Discord too. That's why we set that up. If you go to the about page, go to our about page here on Twitch on the Twitch channel, you'll see a banner there for that links you over to Discord, and then you should be able to post in the server there. If you It may stop you. You got to read the rules first, and then like there's like you got. I think you might have to wait for us to approve. But once we do that, we can probably do that tonight. You can post links up there. We got a place for that. Yeah, that's another one. Spirit animal, and mostly I do it because I don't. I'm so far removed from that part of my family and that culture that like I feel weird like talking about it, but I try to stay within those boundaries, those cultural boundaries, so I'm not stepping on anybody's toes and pissing people off or anything. Because it's awkward. Then you got to go through that whole conversation about, well, technically.
Ooh.
I have a weird. It's not really weird, but I've got a really convoluted family history with cultural identity. And, I mean, really, I'm only 20%, 25% maybe Caucasian. And yet that was a dominating factor for most of my life. And everything else was suppressed, and I wasn't allowed to be Latino or Hispanic. I wasn't allowed to be mestizo. I wasn't allowed to be Basque. I wasn't allowed to be Cherokee. And it was just kind of weird turning into an adult and then realizing like my whole life has been suppressed virtually by a parent who would not allow me to celebrate those things. Which is why I don't speak fluent Spanish. My mom didn't want me to have a secret language to communicate with my dad in, so little does she know I'm catching up.
Yeah, so when you break up the Ouija board.
Orale, mama. That's true. That's true. When you put it that way, people, yeah, the first people, the First Nations. In Spanish, we say mi gente. Gente is people. Mi gente or mi raza, my race. What do you got going on over there, Deacon? You packing up or
No,
digging for parts?
I was actually putting bits box back.
I could see that. Joe, totally see that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Alright, I think this guy done. Move him to that pile because he'll be ready to wash. So what's everybody else got going on this weekend? Kind of the same story over here, Joe. Depends on if Deacon has a family or not. You'll be the last Hasso.
I'll name my cat that.
You'll name your cat that.
Check this out. Dude's holding a Death Guard head.
That's awesome. Crushing it. Pinching your head. Pinching your head.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, that's sweet. This one, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a shield on this guy.
Is that the guy that looks like he has a watch?
Yeah.
It'd probably look better with a shield, but I'm almost tempted to say just leave it because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, you know, I could do that. I could paint little dial on there, little hands and stuff, or it could be bling. In fact, I might do that. I might make it a compass or make it glass or something. Paint it brass. Yeah. That's what I'll do. Alright. Gunmetal for that.
How does it?
1024.
Alright.
So you want to go to 1030 then? Just call it, or?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know how much you have to get ready. I don't know what other stuff you have to do.
So how much taller is this guy? Yeah, check this out. He's like
Yeah.
half a body taller than the other
Jesus.
guys.
That's huge.
Well,
That's a big model.
Funny, it's actually like tiny because if you look at the other ones, he's just the same height as like the other dreadnought,
Yeah.
but these guys are just massive.
Bulkier.
Yeah, taller.
They have, yeah, they have a
They're
lot
like
more
a full.
girth.
They're like a full head taller than the other Marines.
Right, but body wise, they have more girth. They're
Chunkier, yeah.
chunkier,
Oh, well, that guy's a
bulkier than-
Terminator too, so that's part of it at least.
Is he looking for John Connor? Get to the chopper. Get your ass to Mars. You could do a supercut of all that stuff.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
This happens every once in a while. We just lose Deacon. He just walks off camera for unbeknownst reasons.
Cork.
Ah, okay. Do I want to know?
Hmm?
I said, do I want to know? The old saying, stick a cork in it.
Oh.
Alright, that sword's done. Do you remember what I did with that nice brass color I had?
Which one? Tin Bits?
Yeah.
The one that's sitting right there?
Is it that one behind the
Behind the blue.
patina? Rats. Sorry, I gotta see if I can reach over and grab this. Knocking over a ton of shit. Yeah, there we go. They don't make this anymore, do they?
Let me see.
Tin Bits.
No, that's the old Citadel logo, so probably not. It looks a lot like, when you see that? It's a bit darker. I was gonna say it's a lot like Balthazar Gold,
Yeah.
but this is a bit warmer. It looks like, oh, jeez.
There's nothing worse than like finding a nice line of paints, and then they stop making them. You can't get those colors anymore.
Yeah.
Tin, Tin, not M, Timbit. He put Timbits. Timmy. That's what that made me think of. Also crazy. Yeah, and this is one of those original bottles that doesn't have the little thing that keeps the lid open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta like constantly catch it, open it, hold it.
There's a color match website out there, yeah. There's also ones I think that, or there is / was one that just had a list of all of them. Not as helpful, just looking through a list, but it's pretty good in my experience.
Well, I mean, to me it was more helpful to know like, okay, if I have 10 bits, what's the Army Painter equivalent or what's the Vallejo equivalent? Because the colors, if we're being honest, they never really matched online
No.
that much because everybody does their tone and their contrast different.
Yeah.
You know, like rarely would you get like a true color to what the hue was. But yeah, it was helpful. And we do have one that we use.
You know what you could do?
You talking to me?
Yeah. You could
You
just...
talking to me?
Yeah. It would be probably not that much work. You could just go down to Noble, bring that along, and then just look and see what they have.
Yeah, it's true. I could. And I'm just saying, like, I've got enough of this here to last a while because I use it sparingly. It's one of those colors that I'm not doing whole miniatures.
Yeah.
So it, fingers crossed, it'll last for a while. I mean, fuck's sake, look at the Ralph Partha paints I had since the early 1980s.
Yep. I keep wanting to whistle and sing, but nope. Miniature Painter Pro app. You can select your paint lines and take a pic in them. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, see, Joe's got the right idea. Like you said, or you could take it down to Misty, but he went up to you and said, or you could take it to Misty, do a match, and get some sushi while you're there.
Oh, he did want me. Shit.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do a sushi date? Like,
Oh, come on. Fuck. Oh, there goes that.
get some of our peeps together and go get some sushi.
I'm down.
With the sickness?
Ooh,
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna paint this little thing up. I'm gonna try to turn it into some sort of like handheld device.
Alright, back into the best box.
Miniature Painter Pro app. See, that's the thing though, Chris. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't put a lot of faith. I don't put a lot of trust into photographing a color. You know, even with a good camera on my phone, and having it like it's somebody. You know, remember I come from a fine arts background, so I'm a picky motherfucker when it comes to that stuff, and I just as soon take the pot into a store and do a side-by-side color match where I can verify it, I can look at that color. And even then sometimes it's tricky because the hues, when you paint them, they could dry differently, darker or lighter.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Depending on like what kind of...
I'm gonna cut my finger off
what
there.
you're looking at. What are you doing over there?
Trying to cut.
Yeah, but damn, what the hell are you cutting over there?
Plastic.
Oh, for the
For the base.
Juggernaut?
Yeah. Dreadnought, yeah.
Dreadnought.
So this Loctite super glue,
Original Zombie Joe plan wins. Loctite?
yeah, this is that squeeze bottle that I got.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of conflicted on whether or not I actually like it. Like, it's super good so far for basing,
Okay.
and it's actually been surprisingly good on this resin. But other than that, it's just it sucks for like smaller details.
Huh. Too thick? Too
Yeah,
gummy?
way too thick. It's like
a gel almost, right?
It is gel.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
But I mean, like, that jelliness is great for basing.
Okay.
Like, I can get this cork on here, and it'll just stick.
Let's see, Wolf Gray. Where's that dude that I painted the jeans on? That's actually a pretty decent color. I think I can go better. I can go lighter than that.
For the jeans?
That's why I paint the color in my paint lids. I know what it really looks like. Yeah, I've seen that, Chris. That's a good idea.
I always want to do that, and then I just never get around to it.
This ice storm. So we actually have a paint shaker here, but I don't want to turn it on because if I do, I'm gonna like kill the audio. Everybody go deaf. Put this thing on, and what the fuck? That's another one.
Another one that's clogged up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I don't use these. I haven't used them in so long. So. Oh, can't do it. Almost was going to sing.
Yep.
It's so hard. That's the struggle is real, Joe. Like every week Deacon and I are like, we always talk about music. We like to sing, like each of us, we sing our heads off in the car, and we're always whistling songs and stuff like that. But like we get on stream and it's like nope, can't do it. DMCA. So, we're like terrified that one of us is going to screw up and like start humming a tune and then because usually when we're off camera 99.9% of the time we got music going in the background here in the nerd nest, and so when we're painting and working and stuff we're jamming out to some tunes, and then when we get on camera we're like so Twitch, you did your job. Put the fear of Twitch in us. I know it's not Twitch's fault. So those IP attorneys out there. I will tell you what I got stuck in my head though. Putting out fire, and I can't remember if this is the name of it. Putting out fire with gasoline. David Bowie. It's from The Hunger. I love that song, and for whatever reason, it popped into my brain pan.
Your brain pan.
My brain pan.
Is that like that Is that another version of that, like, sheet pan chicken that Mom makes? Brain pan chicken? Something like that?
Oof. Brain salad surgery. It's the name of an album by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Brain salad surgery.
Off here.
Okay, now I'm just flirting with disaster by doing this, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Well, what do you think about ending it here? Or ending it about here? It's about 10:40.
Yeah, I'm good with that. We could do that. Get ready to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yep.
Let me get this little bit worked up right here. Oh, that's bad. That's chalky. I could have done better than that.
Ooh, that sucks.
Fuck. Now I'm doing all these rookie mistakes now because I'm rushing.
Yeah, Chris, you sing the songs for us. Real quick, while you're packing that stuff up, let me show you the space. It's kind of cool.
Talking to me?
Yeah. So he's got this. He's holding this like decapitated Death Guard head. You know.
Huh?
He's like standing over the body of it.
Okay, give me just one moment. Fuck. Well, it was looking beautiful and I fucked it up and stepped on it.
Oh, that sucks.
Un momento, por favor. Gracias. Yeah. That is cool. That is pretty cool. All right, chat. Thanks for dropping in. We really appreciate the support. It was so much fun. And I'm hoping to catch up with some of you in real life real soon. Like Joe, we got to do that sushi date for sure.
Hell yeah.
Maybe we can get a couple more people together and go get some of that.
Sushi date then paint day.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Chris, definitely Chris. Let's talk
according
about
to this. Hold on, I need to check something because according to this, we got 7 viewers, which might be peak.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was saying is, Chris, let's talk. If you really want to do paint day or paint night over here, anytime, man. You know you're welcome over here anytime. You got an open pass. But what would be fun is if we could get you on stream to do that. And, you know, maybe that's your thing, maybe not. And I'm good with that too. But let's talk about that. So again, like for those of you who might have been lurking out there watching in the background, thanks for tuning in. You can check us out. Look at our About page on Twitch. You can catch us on Twitter. Our handle is @Tavern_Black. You can catch us on Facebook. It's simply Facebook.com/Black Dragon Tavern. We're on the gram. Yep, we're on IG, and that's Black Dragon Tavern Online. Remember to add the online because if you hit Black Dragon Tavern, that's somebody else. We're available on YouTube.
We will start posting there.
Yeah. We'll get that updated. We got some pictures up there. We got some good stuff, but we need to update it. We're on YouTube. Get the link to the YouTube off of our About page here on Twitch, and we're also on Discord. That's the one that's super exciting. Drop in there, and if you drop in and you become a member of the Discord community there, we will get to that like in the next day here, and we'll flip you over so you can start posting. I know, Chris, you mentioned you had some links that you wanted to put up there, so do that, hang tight, and then by tomorrow we'll get you set up. In the meantime, if you got nothing going on tomorrow night, tune back in at 8 o'clock. We're going to be playing, I'm so excited. Home is Where the Hearth is what the name of the episode is tomorrow. And we're going to be playing Valheim. What? You're looking at...
coming over.
Oh, that's right. That might change
He's
our
got
game.
a laptop. We could bring him.
He's got a laptop. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, we'll figure that out. We'll figure out how to do that.
Something's gonna happen.
We're gonna play in the new expansion to Valheim. And Valheim. I listened to the that's how it's Nordic.
Oh,
in Norse. Cool. It's not Valheim. It's Val like Valhalla. Heim. Valheim.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, I learned that last night, and so now I'm correcting the way I say it. It's kind of like saying Vallejo instead of Vallejo or Vallejo.
Yeah, Vallejo.
Vajazzle. Anyway, we're out. Thanks for tuning in. Be here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central. Have a good night.
You say it takes you like 3 minutes to get there.
Yeah.